What I would say, I would put restrictions on like how much universities can make their students pay, and also for like international students, because I feel like university like TMU, like here, like it's kind of, in my opinion, a little bit outrageous that international students have to pay like so much more. Like maybe I guess it's normal that it's a bit more, but some restrictions on that.
If I could pass any law, if I'm gonna be honest, I don't necessarily have anything on mind right now. But as I just said, I like my money, right? So maybe like robbing banks for 24 hours and like once a year is legal. It's legal. Exactly, for the banks. Like I just want to be able to rob some money for one day in a year, and like just not. If they're gonna do their best, then I get to do my best on like trying to get the money too. You know what I'm saying? Like if I walk in there with a tank, don't blame me. You know, I bet.
If I'm thinking about the only law that I could pass is like, what I'm gonna do is no drug usages, and if they get caught, if they get caught and got involved in any violences, then they will be sentenced to over 10 years. You know, most of our society is dealing with the drug issues, and that's what I'm gonna do.
I think it would be definitely one around housing and making sure that people who need housing and cannot afford it or find themselves in a situation that they can't have it should be able to have a place to stay, especially since I find the homeless shelters are very hard to get into and often are in poor conditions. So it's always nice to have a safe place to stay.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would say that I don't know about, just something that comes on the top of my head is the fact that a lot of people in the West and all around, they kind of reach the age of 21, 22 without ever having to think about how to make decisions. And I
Okay.
think that just basic schools, when kids are, 10, 12, just having critical thinking course or some sort of inclusion of that within the semester to kind of prepare them for what really happens when you grow. Like, sure, I know science, I know a little bit of music, but like, do I know how to make decisions when something hard comes up?
Maybe something that would not just be like in university.
Yeah,
You know
just
what I mean?
for right
Yeah.
to critical thinking course for all of them. That's the law.
Yeah, just like basically a public
Yeah.
critical thinking course. Yeah.
Because when we came, like, we didn't know how to make decisions because we were not prepared. That's the sort of conversation that, the rich people, they have the privilege of getting those conversations from their parents because they know things. But middle class families or poor people, because there's so much struggle when they were growing up, they don't think that this is a conversation that we should have with our kids. It doesn't strike to them. But like, when people have less money problems, like, they're also more educated, so they know these things because like we know now that we would have these conversations. Yeah.
And talking about it is like crucial, kind of talking about those things.
Just making sure that the school, which is where most of the times are spent when you're a child, has these they have these conversations.
I'd say like instead of, I mean, I don't know if this happens too much, but like instead of evicting and criminalizing like homeless people and all that, I'd say some better policies in terms of like, helping them and making it, not criminalizing it so much, because it's a situation that many people can find themselves in that situation if you don't, especially in countries, very Western countries, where if you don't always work the hardest, it's possible to be in to find yourself in that situation.
Wanna know that I'll get rid of? Parking. Street parking should be free forever. Yo, Yo, I owe the government way too much money. Street parking, yo. Y'all need to chill for real, please.
I don't know if this is gonna be easy, but I'm gonna deal with illegal immigration. Usually the documents problem or the visa problems. That's what I'm gonna deal with if I'm a fraud is becoming a big problem today. So
I'm not really fond of what gun laws we have now. I think that it's still, even in Canada, it's still too easy to be able to obtain a gun. So I think there should be at least policies that make it a little harder to get one or not have them at all. Yeah. Especially the manufacturing of them.
This might be controversial. Like, I'm not sure of this myself, but I think that if you want to keep moving a country forward, you have to appreciate and accept the fact that the new generation thinks differently. Some cap on how old is too much, like too old to be
Oh
a
yeah.
prime minister or a president. Like, you can be 95 and you can still, and I appreciate that. I
But
think that
it's a
old
little
people
bit-
should be in position of power because they have more experience, but like,
They might
just
not
the-
have so much of an understanding of the young generation and what they're thinking is good for.
yeah,
for
and
the
I think
country.
when you turn 90, 95, 80, 85, you are almost like 1.5 to 2 generations behind because
Yeah.
there's been so much time since.
I mean, imagine, because like so much has changed in even the past like 20 years. Like now, like imagine like people who are like 80 or 70 and stuff, how they won't understand like stuff like AI, for example, and all that. Like if we want good policies on those new technologies that are coming out and stuff, we need people who
understand it to
understand.
begin with.
Yeah.
But again, like I agree that it's not like someone who is the president has to understand all the concepts, but I just think it's about like a more general fact that them at that age, I think you are better off advising young generation to do the right things more so than doing the things, because you know what I mean, right? Like just a basic conversation on how old is too old to be a president or a prime minister, and at what point would be really be like, this is kind of it doesn't help the nation.
I think, I don't know if you agree with me, but I think it would be the job market probably,
Yeah.
like finding jobs for everyone. And I think there's like, it's very hard for people our age to find jobs, maybe because I guess I don't know really the reasons, but I'd say that is probably something that we need to work on. Yeah. Yeah.
Again, I think that, I mean, the first thing that came to my mind, I kind of like philosophy, so that's the tangent that I usually think of. I think that the previous 2 generations, the one before us and the one before that, they have had a consistent life, in the sense that the things that my grandparents realized or observed were the things that were consistent when my dad was around, which means that the value system or the things that he taught my dad were relevant. But I think that right now, like, so much is changing that relevance is not there anymore. So the biggest problem for my generation, I think, is that we have to basically observe what is the state of the world that we live in now. And I think by the time the next generation comes, maybe it would be consistent. So by that, what I mean is that this generation would have to understand the world from a completely new spot or
see.
space, because the things that were taught to us, although they were relevant when with my dad and everything, but they're not so relevant now. So hopefully, if we work towards understanding this more, the things that we learn would still hopefully be relevant to the next one. So I think that the burden of pressure of that philosophically is on our generation to make that base. You know, I would agree that it is always generational and it's always going to happen. But I think the only anomaly in this situation is the oncoming of AI. I think that breaks the norm, because we have not seen something like that happen before. And a lot of people, and we're in tech, right? A lot of people
Yeah.
talk about how, oh, the printing press came, that's the same
and then
thing.
It changed everything or something.
But that's different because it was not working the way this technology works.
It's such a like vast different, like such a vast changing, like
Yeah,
of the technology and of even in politics and things are fast changing so fast,
yeah,
and the way like our generation might deal with it is different, and it might like our parents might not really understand, you know, us
yeah.
as well.
Of course,
maybe.
you know, like in that generation, the idea still is that if you study hard, you get a job, and then you get a house, and then you get a family. The thing is that really, truly does not work anymore.
Yeah.
Even if you are
Yeah.
a rich person, you cannot afford a house. It was not.
Yeah.
It's not the same as it was before. So
Yeah.
the everything about that knowledge that he had is not relevant to us anymore. So we have to make the new neural paths, and then that would maybe help the next generation, is what I think. It might change. I agree. And I agree. So, you know, that's the scariest thought, that the idea that because what I mean by that is that there's a consistent timeline of changing things, but I think AI disrupts that. That's why I think that this generation has a special role to play, because there was the consistent graph that was without it was linear,
Yeah.
the change, and
Now
it's
it's-
suddenly like AI disrupted that. So
Yeah.
what the graph might look like in the next few centuries, we don't know. It might then become linear, you know.
There might
We
be
don't
a
know
point
that.
where some big change needs to
Yeah.
happen or something like that.
But like I think that AI definitely, even though like most of it is like overhyped, a lot of people use the word AI in their
Yeah, just randomly,
company name
you
to
know,
like hype up the stocks
just-
and all, but that,
just to
obviously
make
that
it-
happens. We're not close to the thing that someone who isn't in tech, they think, oh, like Terminator.
Yeah.
We're not that close yet. It's just
Yeah.
but the AI is dangerous because the idea of what like now what we're able to do is anything that is on the internet, anything that humans have done before, it learns and it can do that. So
Yeah,
now
like it
what
can-
happens
it
to the
can-
job market? You know, like
Yeah,
this
that
was
too,
not the
yeah.
problem that
Yeah,
existed
yeah.
before, because printing press was specific to papers. AI is general to everything. That's the difference, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
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 You've
No,
seen
everything's
the
just-
Will
yeah.
Smith eating the spaghetti 2 years ago and versus now.
Yeah.
Sora 2, it crazy, man.
Yeah, like with all those things. Yeah.
I'd say, what is it called again? Like spaces for people to just go and meet people just like them, if that makes sense. Like I'm a creative, so I like to, you know, get out of the house and kind of like mesh with people who kind of think like me, or just like kind of see the world a little bit more like me. And I'd say like, I don't know, more spaces for people to meet up. And I'd say like the city is kind of like moving towards a space where like, you know, we're trying to invest into programs and also just like, yeah, stuff like that. But we need more spaces like that. But yeah.
The most important issue that the Canada is facing right now, I think it's homeless people that are facing up as a problem, or the drug users as well. I think that's the one. Yeah. You know, Miss Olivia Cho, I've already met you before in the subway station, and if you can do anything to make Canada great again, then I'm down with that. With any laws that if Canada can once become great again. Yeah, that's all my work. Yeah, thank you.
Probably my biggest one right now that I find is AI. I think it's becoming way too common, and I think it's being used in really bad ways and manners, and I think that it's not good. It's not only destroying art, but it's destroying like human connection and safetyness even. I think it's the fact that it sounds like paranoid of me to say, but it is replacing humans in a way that it's like, yeah, now we see like AI actors and actresses. Yeah, like AI films, music, like even medicine, like it's not good.
Having more conversations like this, to be honest, like to be honest, like all the and not being so polarized and talking about a little bit more specific things in a conversation, because I think many people, like, certain words jump out at them and they think certain things because of those words, and I think we should rely less on the connotations of certain language, but more on what that specific person, what the conversation actually is about, and just having like general conversations about things. I think that's the most important,
I agree.
because like usually like it depends who you're having a conversation with, and sometimes you're having a conversation with someone who has really different views from you and you really don't understand how you can relate to that. But oftentimes there are some common grounds where you can kind of have a conversation and also make it interesting. And yeah.
I agree. One thing that society does that will make it better: celebrity worship has to stop. In any fashion, in any sector, do not worship a celebrity, do not
Yeah.
worship a politician, do not worship an author.
I agree with that.
You're not
yeah.
supposed to do that. And this is not a religious take. I just think that as soon as you, not worship, but like as soon as you get too influenced by anyone, you should not give someone who doesn't even know you the power to influence you to that point.
Yeah.
It's just flawed in its nature. It doesn't, like, even politics now, the left-wing people follow someone and they're like, oh, this is amazing celebrity worship there. The
Everywhere, yeah.
the right-wing people might follow someone else and they're like, it's wrong. It stops conversation, and I just don't like the idea of it at all. So
I think we should realize that all those celebrities, politicians, public media people are, yeah, like you said, like they're also people, and the reason they were able to be a public person or whatever is it's obviously there is talent there, but there's also some luck of being in the right place at the right time. And
I don't know, like in my eyes, the way I think about it is that, let's say that I wake up the next day and I'm like super famous.
Mhm.
Would that make me know things more? No.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same for everyone.
Yeah.
So like, if I'm being honest, even if I am like super famous in 5 years, I don't want someone to listen to me about things that I don't know about.
I totally
because,
agree with you on that.
You know,
Yeah.
it's my experience.
Like-
It might be completely different than your experience.
Yeah.
And I think if I tell you something versus if you face the situation and then have that realization on your own, it would have come out of doubt, which means that
Yeah.
you know it now.
You
right?
have to actually experience things
Yeah.
to
And I think celebrity worship kind of stops that from happening.
Yeah.
Or it makes it
where you take the
longer.
information from a certain celebrity or a certain, instead of experiencing that emotion or that experience that they're talking about yourself.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those, the no, don't believe
Yeah.
hope. Like that's what I think.
Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Yeah. Just I don't know. I mean, I don't really know Carney. I haven't looked at politics that much, so but cooperate with other countries and focus on the problems that unite countries together rather than country problems that stigmatize other countries.
Like I don't know, honestly, that like I don't mean to ask you whether like someone is left wing or right wing, but like the fact that he is having to deal with a really hostile neighbor and the fact that he's kind of
Yeah.
trying to do his best is I appreciate that. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't care. What
I was talking
party
more
you
a
belong to,
general
like,
general
that's-
sense.
It's a
With the United
complicated
States, that's a
situation.
complicated,
It's a complicated
really complicated
right? So
situation. I was
props
not
to him for dealing with
talking
it,
about
but
really that.
I don't
but
agree
yeah.
with a lot of his policies. I don't want to go into like which policies or not.
Yeah.
But I
Also-
honestly I don't know what I would have to write that answer at some point if I only get 30 seconds with him. But yeah, that's it.
I would have liked the Green Party to win, though.
I think would make society better. Yo, everyone go work out. Go touch some weights, yo. Go touch some weights. Go run some track. Like, go lift. Go, like, climb a rock. You know what I'm saying? Like, walk, hike, snowboard. Something. You know what I'm saying? Touch some grass. Lay in some sun, please. Like, I bet. Thank you. Yeah.
Increasing the price for the cigarettes or the drug usage, they are all causing massive problems. Yeah.
Definitely more resources and support for people, whether it's through like employment, like I said earlier, housing, food, and especially mental health support as well, because a society isn't safe if the people don't feel safe and aren't safe.
You're watching the live internet theory.
You're watching the Live Internet Theory.
If you're a real person, subscribe to live live TV channel. What's the name again? Live Internet Theory. Make your subscription and click some likes, okay?
You're
We're watching the live internet theory.
It's awesome.
For pedophiles to do 50 years in jail. What would I get rid of? I don't know. No, I have no idea.
Answer the next question. What do you think is the most important issue facing our city?
Important issue? Nah, I don't know. What makes society better? I don't know.
One thing.
More picnics.
Picnics.
Yeah.
That would make society better.
Yeah, why not?